Hi everyone, I'm Matt Gash with SoundersFC.com alongside Arlo White, the voice of the Sounders at Quest Field after a 1-1 draw, Sounders FC Dallas. Kind of the same old refrain, but a little bit different story today.
Well, I think so. I think there are reasons to be cheerful after tonight's performance. It took something particularly special. Casey Keller was magnificent tonight. You know, FC Dallas have been on decent form recently, but that goal by David Ferreira, the Colombian guy, I mean, he's a good player, and he was a threat all night, but that give and go that he did, the ball in the air, left foot from an angle, fantastic volley into the bottom corner, and that really was a heartbreaker, wasn't it? And we've left 4 points on the table against FC Dallas, but it was a bold selection by Ziggy Schmidt tonight with the youngsters, and I know we'll talk about this. You know, some of it worked out, some sides of it, some aspects of it didn't, I suppose. But I felt like 3 points were snatched away tonight, and that is frustrating. But out of that were the green shoots, I think, of a recovery, and the turning of a corner. It was positive. They should have won. They didn't, and it was snatched away. But you know, I enjoyed the performance.
Sounders had good play out of the middle of their midfield. Part of that is Mike Seaman's play. Part of that is the return of Osvaldo Alonso. Talk about those two guys, what you saw from them.
Well, yeah, but also Nate Sturgis as well, who, in a way, when he's played, he's been cast as the creator. But actually, his best performances are when he's slightly deeper, he's always available, he's always showing, and he keeps them ticking along, much like Hernandez does for FC Dallas. You know, he's all over the pitch, he's always making himself available, and he barely made a bad pass, he kept possession. Seaman, I've heard, turned his ankle before the game as well, so he really guts it out for 65 minutes. He's going to be a good player in this league, and Ziggy Schmidt has said as much to us in a production meeting, hasn't he? Ozzy Alonso coming back, looks all action, and that's great to see. So there's going to be some interesting selectorial decisions coming up, and it's the right ones. It's when you've got good players who are vying for positions. But I guess the key moment of tonight was the Montaño sending off, and it was such a shame because he was playing well, he looked confident, biggest night of his career, he's only 19 years old, he had to go. I mean, it was a clear retaliation against Breck Shea. It was a reckless challenge by Shea, and he was booed almost as much as A-Rod. I was at Safeco Field the other night, and he was booed almost as much as A-Rod was there after that. And he had to go, and that'll be an important lesson to Montaño. Hopefully he'll only be banned for one game, and he will have learned a valuable lesson. He'll be deeply upset. You know, it's too early to be singling him out and blaming him, but he knows in the future now that you know, things like moments like that cost your team points. But I prefer to talk about the first hour or 57 minutes of Montaño, which was, I thought, excellent in and out of the game, but wide men are. But with him, it's the skill, it's the intent, it's the confidence that's impressive. So he's going to be a very, very exciting player at this club.
And he seemed to establish that purpose early. He was all over the field early in the game. It seemed important to kind of get the flow of the game going for Seattle.
Yeah, he doesn't mind going on the outside. He was on the right-hand side, remember, tonight as well, because the senior pro, 22-year-old Steve Zakuani, was on the left-hand side, which is where he's played his best football. So they switch wings every now and again. But, you know, Montaño started both against Portland in the US Open Cup and against LA Galaxy on the left. So that was an adjustment he had to make, and he was cutting inside effectively, wasn't he? Didn't get to the byline perhaps as often as he does on the left-hand side because he more favours his left foot. But look, exciting, and we need that injection of youth and that vigour and that enthusiasm and that passion, and the guys provided it tonight. And you know, as I say, you know, whilst Freddie, if we're going to be missing Freddie Lumbo with an ankle injury, and Ziggy says he's day-to-day, so we'll watch this space on Lundberg. But whilst he's out, you know, because he's given some all-action performances this season, while he's out, it's great to know that we've got some young guys that can come into the game. Montero looked keen.
I was just going to ask you, of all the bright spots, we almost left out Freddie Montero, who on his goal, he's had a hot streak of late, and his goal on that header, pretty remarkable play.
Oh, and it was a great cross by James Riley as well, pinpoint, and it was falling away beyond the near post, Montero, and just placed it beautifully inside the post. It was a lovely goal, and he was tackling back, and he realised, particularly when the Sounders went down to 10 men, that, you know, You need to defend from attack, and he did that. So a good all-round performance from Montero. I thought he led well tonight as well, and the crowd were terrific. The crowd were magnificent. They sensed when the side were down to 10 men that they need, the players needed the fans, and they played their part tonight. They were magnificent. There was a bit of a shriek and silence briefly after the goal, as you would expect, but even in injury time as well, they really urged the Sounders on, and I thought they backed the team brilliantly tonight. And we're going to need more of that over the next 14 games, because this is going to be tight now. If the playoff run is going to start, it's got to be soon. No one's under any illusions. 14 games to go, we've got 16 points. It's got to be special. This run now has got to be really special. But maybe we saw tonight just the start of something special at this club with Blaise Kufo to come in as well. So hopefully, exciting times to come.
14 games left on the schedule. They start Thursday night with DC United, maybe with Blaise Kufo in the lineup, maybe not. We'll wait till Thursday night to find out. For Arlo White, I'm Matt Gash with SoundersFC.com. This has been your review.